The era of the thousand-man corporation is dead. Within 24 months, we will witness the first $100 million revenue company run by a single human. This isn't a hallucination, it's a structural inevitability. After interviewing elite founders from Perplexity, Anthropic, and Replit, the consensus is clear. In 2026, AI is no longer a tool, it is your co-founder. While the masses use AI to become faster cogs, you are here to be the architect. We're stripping away the hype to analyze the cold mathematics of the solo empire. I'm providing the exact step-by-step blueprint to restructure capital and labor, moving you from a worker to a conductor. This is the code for the 1%. To tailor this blueprint for your specific journey, what is the number one financial leak or technical bottleneck strangling your growth right now? Are you drowning in payroll or paralyzed by the AI learning curve? Comment your biggest hurdle below. Point 1. The architecture of the solo empire. The traditional business model is a pyramid. At the top sits the CEO, and beneath them are layers of management, directors, and workers. Each layer is a point of friction, a drain on the profit margin, and a potential for miscommunication. In 2026, that pyramid has been compressed into a single point. You. The visionaries of the new era understand a concept called conceptual integrity. When a team grows, the original vision is diluted. Every new hire is a new opinion that shifts the trajectory of the ship. But when you are a solo founder leveraging an AI ecosystem, the distance between your thought and the final product is zero. Consider the architect avatar. Let's call him Elias. Elias doesn't hire a marketing team, a legal department, or a fleet of developers. He hires agents. These are not just software programs. They are specialized intelligence silos. He has a product manager agent, a legal counsel agent, and an outbound sales agent. The average person asks, "What tool should I use?" The elite architect asks, "How do I design the system so these tools can collaborate without my intervention?" This shift moves you from being a worker to being a conductor. A conductor doesn't play the violin, yet the music doesn't exist without them. You are the holder of the vibe and the strategy. The AI handles the syntax and the execution. Point 2. Founder opportunity fit and the arbitrage of insight. Most startups fail because they solve problems that don't exist for people they don't understand. Daniel Priestley, one of the sharpest minds in business scaling, calls the starting point founder opportunity fit. The average person chases trends. They see AI and try to build another chat with PDF tool. This is a race to the bottom with zero defensive moat. The elite builder looks for insight arbitrage. Ask yourself this: what is a problem you have solved that resulted in a remarkable outcome, which you can explain step by step? Your advantage doesn't come from the AI. It comes from your lived experience. If you spent 10 years in supply chain logistics and you know exactly why mid-sized firms lose 4% of their margin to shipping errors, that is your billion-dollar insight. You take that niche logic and you feed it into the AI. The AI is a force multiplier of 0 if your insight is 0, but if your insight is a 10, the AI makes it a 1,000. Stop looking at the market. Start looking at your journals. Reflection is the highest ROI activity for a founder. Spend 30 minutes in total silence. No phone, no music. Just a pen and the question: who have I helped, what did I do, and why did it work? Once you have that, you don't have a startup idea. You have a proven logic that is ready to be automated. Point 3. The mathematics of the million-dollar bottle. Let's talk about the missing math that most gurus ignore. To build a $1 million business as a solo founder, you must understand unit economics and the API burn rate. The average thinks only about revenue. I made $50,000 this month. The elite thinks about net profit margin and scalability. If you build an AI tool that uses GPT-4 or Claude 3.5, you are essentially renting intelligence from OpenAI or Anthropic. Every time a user clicks a button on your app, you pay a fee. If your cost per interaction is 10 cents and you charge the customer 15 cents, you are one bad update away from bankruptcy. A true solo empire aims for a profit margin of 80% or higher. This is only possible if you use AI to replace human OPEX, operating expenses. Think about it this way. To run a traditional B2B SaaS company generating $1 million in annual recurring revenue, you would typically need at least 5 to 10 employees. Salary, benefits, office space, and human friction would eat up 70% of your revenue. The solo builder replaces that $700,000 in human cost with $5,000 in API costs and automation subscriptions. This isn't just saving money, it is creating a financial fortress. You can afford to be 10 times more patient than your competitors because your burn rate is practically non-existent. The world is rapidly dividing into two camps: the conductors who direct intelligence and the instruments who are played by it. Most people are terrified because they realized they've spent their lives learning to be an instrument. Are you a conductor, or are you still practicing your scales for a concert that's been canceled? State your role below: conductor or instrument. Point 4. From prompt engineering to systems engineering. There is a common misconception that you need to be a coder to build $1 million AI business. This is false. However, the idea that you can just type a sentence and get a business is also a lie sold to the masses. The bridge between your idea and a functional product is precision. Jad Masad of Replit highlights that the new language of programming is English, but it is a technical English. Think of the AI as a world-class intern with severe ADHD. If you give it a vague instruction like, "Build me a website for my logistics business," it will give you a generic, useless template. The architect provides the constraints. You must describe the logic, the edge cases, and the failure states. You aren't just prompting, you are managing. When you encounter a bug, and you will, the average founder gets frustrated and quits. They think the tool is broken. The elite founder goes into the logs, identifies the specific point of failure, and feeds it back to the agent with the command. The service is unavailable at the deployment stage due to a timeout in the database handshake. Refactor the connection logic to include a retry mechanism. You don't need to know how to write the code for that retry mechanism. You just need to know that a retry mechanism is what's required. This is the managerial perspective. You are no longer the one swinging the hammer. You are the one reading the blueprints and spotting the structural flaws. Point 5. The symbiotic co-founder, Claude and the founder therapist. Building a business alone is a psychological war. The ups and downs can break a human mind. Mike Krieger, the co-founder of Instagram, points out that the ideal team used to be 2 people because you needed someone to pull you out of the trenches. In 2026, your co-founder is an LLM with vibe alignment. The elite are not using Claude or ChatGPT just to write copy. They are using it as a founder therapist and a strategic challenger. Imagine you have a document for a new product launch. Most people would ask AI to make this sound better. The elite founder says to Claude, "Here is my launch strategy. I want you to adopt the persona of a cynical, aggressive venture capitalist who thinks my idea is trash. Find every hole in my logic. Challenge my pricing. Tell me why I will fail." This is how you achieve stress testing without risking a single dollar. You use AI to simulate the market before you ever enter the market. Furthermore, the builders are setting up project containers for every discipline. One container is the product manager. It knows your roadmap and your user feedback. One container is the lawyer. It has been fed every contract you've ever signed and warns you of predatory clauses. One container is the sales coach. It analyzes your call transcripts and tells you exactly where you lost the prospect's trust. This is the orchestra metaphor in action. You aren't hiring people. You are deploying instances of expertise. Point 6. The 1.01365 Law of Exponential Empires. Arvind Srinivas, the founder of Perplexity, lives by a mathematical mantra. 1.01 to the power of 365 equals 37.7. If you improve your system by just 1% every single day, you are not 365% better at the end of the year. You are 3,700% better. This is the concept of compounding intelligence. The average founder looks for the big bang. They want the viral moment, the massive investment, the instant success. The elite founder looks for the daily bug. They wake up and ask, what is the smallest point of friction in my automated sales funnel today? How can I use AI to reduce that friction by 1%? Maybe it's the response time of your chatbot. Maybe it's the clarity of your landing page headline. Maybe it's the cost of your API calls. In a solo empire, you have the luxury of focus. You don't have to sit in 4 hours of meetings with human staff. You spend those 4 hours tuning the engine. When your business is built of code and AI agents, improvements are permanent. A human employee might forget a training session. An AI agent, once optimized, stays optimized forever. This is how a one-person company scales to $100 million. They aren't working 10,000 times harder than you. They have just compounded 1% improvements 1,000 times. Point 7. LLMO and the death of traditional discovery. The world of marketing is undergoing a violent shift. In the past, you marketed to humans via SEO, search engine optimization. You worried about keywords and backlinks. In 2026, you are marketing to the algorithms that recommend things to humans. This is LLMO, large language model optimization. Think about how you use AI now. You don't Google for the best logistics software. You ask Perplexity or ChatGPT. What is the most reliable AI-driven logistics tool for mid-sized firms in the US? The AI doesn't look at who has the most keywords. It looks for trust signals across the entire web. It reads reviews. It analyzes public PR. It looks at your mentions in high-authority articles. If your business doesn't speak AI, it doesn't exist. The strategy for the solo founder is no longer spamming content. It is investing in authority. You want the AI to see you as the definitive answer to a specific problem. This is the new SEO. Be helpful, be real, and ensure your product's logic is documented in places where AI models crawl. If the AI trusts you, it will recommend you. And one recommendation from a trusted AI agent is worth 10,000 cold emails. There is a silent, heavy fear that keeps most people awake at night. The realization that the skills they spent 20 years acquiring can now be replicated by a machine in 20 seconds. It feels like a betrayal. It feels like the ground is disappearing. But there is a freedom in that realization. Once you stop trying to compete with the machine, you can finally start owning it. What is the one safe skill or dream you've been clinging to that you secretly know is being replaced? Let it go in the comments. Speak your truth so you can move forward. Point 8. High-stakes automation and the global arbitrage. Let's move past the trivial examples. Most people think AI automation is about booking a dog groomer. That is low-stakes thinking. The solo empire handles high-stakes automation. Imagine a global arbitrage agent. Its job is to monitor the price of raw materials in 50 different countries, analyze shipping lane congestion, and automatically negotiate contracts with 500 different suppliers simultaneously. When a human does this, it takes a department of 20 people and 3 months. When your AI system does it, it happens in 10 minutes while you're having breakfast. This is the stress test of a real business. Can your system handle a crisis? If a supplier goes bankrupt, does your AI automatically trigger a search for a replacement, negotiate a trial order, and update your inventory management without you lifting a finger? That is the difference between a lifestyle business and a million-dollar solo empire. Automation is not a buzzword. It is your survival strategy. In a world where everyone has access to the same AI tools, the winner is the one who builds the most complex, high-stakes autonomous loops. Point 9. The human premium in an algorithmic world. We are entering a period of infinite content. AI can generate endless videos, articles, and apps. When supply is infinite, the value of that supply drops to zero. So, what remains valuable? Taste, curation, And the human premium. Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, emphasizes that while AI will be available for everything, it cannot replace the human why. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it and how you've curated it. In a world of a billion AI-generated images, the one curated by a human with impeccable taste becomes a luxury. In a world of a billion AI-generated businesses, the one designed with a specific vibe and integrity by a solo founder becomes a brand. Your job is no longer to do the work. Your job is to work on your taste, read the classics, study architecture, understand human psychology. The more human and refined your input is, the more elite your AI output will be. The machine is a mirror. If you are average, it will reflect mediocrity at scale. If you are elite, it will project your excellence across the globe. The transition we are living through is painful because it requires the death of the employee mindset. You were trained to be a specialized tool. Now, you must become the owner of the toolkit. The solo empire isn't just about the money, it's about the ultimate form of freedom, the ability to project your will onto the world without the permission of a boss or the friction of a massive team. As for those of you still watching, here is the inconvenient truth, I promised. Building a $1 million solo business is actually harder than building a traditional one, not because of the workload, but because of the intellectual rigor required. You cannot hide behind a team. You cannot blame marketing. If the system fails, it is because your logic was flawed. Most people will choose the safety of a 9-to-5 over this level of extreme accountability. They would rather be a comfortable instrument than a stressed conductor. But you are not most people. To signify that you have crossed the threshold and are ready to take command of the machine, comment the secret password, I am the conductor. This tells me, and the community, that you have stopped looking for a job and have started designing a system. If this deep dive provided the clarity you needed, like this video and share it with one person who is still stuck in the old pyramid. Subscribe to channel for more strategic blueprints on the new financial frontier. The architect doesn't wait for the future. He builds it. Click the video on your screen right now to learn the next layer of the solo empire blueprint. The game has changed. Make sure you're the one holding the controller.